Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
Yo, 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 yo.
It is afternoon still, right?
It is.
Yeah,
Or
a
in my
little bit of a weird
case,
schedule.
good last night, everybody. I didn't go to bed yet.
You haven't slept yet.
I
You need some
tried.
sleep. We can cut it short tonight if you want to.
No, I'm good. I tried. I got in the chair, I turned the lights off, and I normally keep the TV on for like 5 minutes. And then I reach over, I turn the TV off, and then I'm usually out. Well, last night, I was watching a movie, and then the movie ended, and it's like, okay, well, I'm really not that tired. So I was flipping through the channels, and here we come across Storage Wars. So I've been watching fucking Storage Wars.
Yup.
Yeah.
Sharky. What's
What's
up,
going on
Bam
there,
Bam
Snark
and the
Snark?
man behind the mic? How you doing, Shark?
Snarky, snarky,
Richard
snarky.
Steamboat,
Hey, Ricardo.
a resident musician there. He's a rock and roller.
He's got Hello Kitty going on, too.
Yeah, I saw that. What's up with that, Richard? Hi,
Hey,
Melissa. Welcome to tonight. Nelda.
No.
Hola. How are you? Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit.
That looks
Hi,
like a
Shonda.
Dallas Cowboys star. Don't tell
Yeah.
me that she's a football person.
Unfortunately,
Aye.
that is a Dallas Cowboy star.
Aye. Shonda. I love the penguin. I'm a huge fan of penguins. I love
Oh,
penguins.
yeah, that's a cool picture. I like that.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, Melissa. Welcome. Speaking of penguins, I had this it's not even about penguins, it's about a panda. There was a video going around a few months ago of a panda just chomping on a big carrot. And he's just right there on camera. Yeah, it's if I can find it later, I'll put it up there. Anyway, I think it's amusing.
Every year at the aquarium in Chicago, they put little Santa hats on the penguins, and they take the little babies out for a walk inside the aquarium, and they film it. It's so cute. Little baby penguins walking around.
Oh, baby penguins are so funny.
Cute. And they're like puppy dog.
What's going on tonight?
Well, nothing.
We got a few things. I want to catch up on a couple of things that we didn't get to come up the other day.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got? Lay it on me.
No, the hey, love the Cowboys. So you're the one. You're the one.
I'm just not a sports person because all it does is fucks up your news, fucks up your scheduled programming, and it's not just like an hour. I mean,
he just doesn't like sports.
It's for days.
Not for days.
Your 6 o'clock fucking news comes on at 3:00 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen like that.
Oh yes, it does. Lies and deceit.
Nadia.
Lies and deceits.
Bam, she likes Storage Wars and Pawn Stars too.
I just can't get into Pawn Stars anymore. I mean, ever since the old man died or whatever, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's different.
Hey,
Hungry.
Hippo.
What's up, Hungry? I'm hungry. I got to order some food in a minute here. Hello, Kitty. Is in honor and memory of my girlfriend Gracie Castro, who passed away some 3 years ago. Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
That's nice. That's a cool way to remember her, though. Definitely a cool way to remember her. Not everybody needs to know the details, right? As long as you know what it means, that's cool. So, what do you got for us? Anything in particular?
Well, there was. I don't know if it's true or not. It was, how people take a picture of something and they put like a caption over the top of it, and I don't even know if I'll find it again. But there was this one lady. Evidently, she's in Oregon, and she's a school commissioner, or school superintendent, or something. And the school wanted a tree for a mascot.
A tree.
Okay. And she goes, we can't have a tree as a mascot because that stands for lynching. Okay, I look at a tree and I look at a tree and I see warmth, shade, a house, food for animals. I the last thing I fucking think of is stringing some motherfucker up by their neck and letting them hang there. I mean, give me a fucking break. I mean, is this what this fucking country's coming to? I mean, are we that fucking ignorant as a society that we have to think about, oh, look at a tree. Oh, it's lynching. You can't even look at a tree now. We got to cancel a fucking tree. Give me a goddamn break.
Oh man. That's a ridiculous excuse for that.
Yeah, I'm done with my soapbox.
You're done with your soapbox?
I'm done with my soapbox.
Yeah, I think I did read something of that nature. And I'm telling you, the way some people think is
here
so
it is.
annoying.
Portland School Board had Michelle DePass,
Portland.
DEPASS.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Trees are now not politically correct.
A school shouldn't choose an evergreen. Oh, and an evergreen tree at that. So, I see Christmas tree.
Yeah.
For the mascot, because trees mean lynching. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Trees don't mean lynching. Good Lord.
Well, and then
it does. If that's on your mind all the time, then I wonder what's on your mind all the time.
I really can't even tell what ethnic background she's from, because she looks Hispanic. She could be Italian. She could be a mixture of black and white. I mean, I can't tell what ethnic background she's from. But obviously, if it's lynching, then my first thought would be she's black. But, it's like, if you think you see a evergreen tree and you think of hanging somebody or a lynch mob from an evergreen tree, I mean, it's a fucking Christmas tree, woman. Give me a goddamn break. I mean, how fucking ignorant can you be?
Yeah. So one thing I wanted to catch up on, which we didn't touch on yesterday, and I know Bam's not a fan of sports
or football or
but
baseball.
A lot of people are. However, this is not necessarily about sports.
I like hockey because they fight, and it doesn't do anything to your news or anything. So yeah, I can deal with hockey.
Depending on my schedule, I'm trying to get to a hockey game here, college or semi-pro or something like that. I was invited. I might do that. You ever been to a hockey game, a live one?
I have.
Oh man, you get hooked. If you're not a hockey fan, you will be when you go to a live game and watch.
Yeah, it's exhilarating.
Yeah, it really is. Anyway, this is not about sports per se. So, as you all know, you might have heard by now, Major League Baseball decided everything was set up. Atlanta, All-Star game for this year. And guess what? They decided to pull it out because of the new voter ID laws that Georgia has adopted, the state of Georgia. So now, all right. So now you need to, when you're going to vote in Georgia, you got to show an ID. Period.
Not a goddamn thing wrong with that.
Driver's license, regular ID, passport. I think I didn't even know the IRS even hands out IDs for some people. Some kind of government issued card. It has to be that way.
Not a thing wrong with that.
Is there anything wrong with that at all at any level? No. They're saying that's racist. Its intent is racist.
It's racist. We need to check your ID.
It's voter
to make sure that it's
suppression.
you that's actually voting is racist.
They're trying to keep people from voting. That's their argument. Right? Yeah. So what do? They take the game. They're trying to figure out where to put it. And they decide to go to Denver, Colorado. Another state with voter ID laws. All right? The only difference is they're not so strict on the voter ID law. And if you don't have an ID, they're okay to give you a little handout, a little thing you got to sign, and you can vote. Georgia is going to be a little tougher. They're going to be more strict. You need your ID to vote.
As it should be.
The thing in Denver, the thing in Colorado is that everyone who registers to vote automatically gets a mail-in ballot. Automatically. So all the residents, anybody who registers to vote gets a mail-in ballot.
That's crack shit.
And guess what? Over 95% of the people vote by mail. This is from Colorado State. 95% vote by mail that way.
Evidently, Oregon has always been a mail-in ballot state for since time began. They've always done all of their elections by mail-in ballots.
Yeah, and they have their rules for that. But at the will call window, any of these theater places or sporting events, you want to pick up your tickets. Guess what? You got to show
ID.
Counting the days to see when I'm next. You're not next.
When you go buy a car or go test drive a car, you got to show an ID.
Oh yeah, you want to buy a car? You want to test drive it? Okay, we need your driver's license.
If you go to the bank and cash a check, we need your ID to make sure that it's you we're giving the cash to.
Sitting here patiently waiting for you to start, and all I hear is the final question song for the game show Jeopardy. The answer is "Where are Bam?" Yeah, that's funny. That's a good one, Betty Roble. As the stomach turns, yes, that's definitely the case. Nelda says the campus I retired from has been on the national watch for the mascot named Warriors, Native American, for years. I heard they might change it.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
So Warriors are only Native American? Is that what they're saying? There's no Mexican warrior. There's no American warriors. There's no any other kind of warrior. They're only Native.
The mentality of this cancel culture is just mind-boggling.
Goodness. Hey, Manola, I'm Bam, running late. No sports for me. Hey, Lola, thanks for hanging out. I know, and it's not about sports. What do you guys think? Should you be required to show an ID in order to vote?
I am a huge, big, fat YES 3,000 explanation points.
Sharky says, nope. What? Tree? Somebody better not tell Disney World or they'll cut down the tree of life at the animal kingdom. Never been there. Don't plan to. I don't see anything wrong with that. Norma, welcome from Houston. Welcome from Houston. Yeah. Voter ID. Why is that such a hot topic for some people? And for some people, I'm talking about the left side over there.
Yeah, the big thing, the people that start with the big D. And they have that jackass that represents them. Have you ever wondered why the Democrats chose a jackass to represent what their party is?
What's up, Joe?
Just saying.
Yep, nothing wrong with it. I'm okay with it. Why would somebody be not okay with it? Oscar, welcome.
Hey, what's going on there, Oscar?
You want to see a gun ID, please? There you. I don't know if that'll gun IDs work. If it's government issued, I imagine it's got your picture on it. As long as it's government issued, I don't see why not. In Colorado, if you buy cigarettes, you want to show photo ID regardless of your age. The clerks take that very seriously. And I know, and sometimes alcohol too in some places.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look 21 or under, but I get carded a lot.
And that's the policy of a lot of hotels. There's a hotel that I lived in Sioux Falls for over a year. And, for 8 months of my life there, no ID. But then all of a sudden one night I walked in there and they're like, bam, it's our new policy. We got to ID everybody. We know you're over the age of 21. Hell, we know you're over the age of 40. We even know you're over the age of 50. Yeah. But we have to see your ID. It's our policy now. So I had to run all the way back upstairs, 9 flights of elevators, go to my room, come all the way back down, just show them an ID.
Poor Bam was inconvenienced.
I did get a free drink out of it,
though. The Aztec warriors, political correctness, way too far. Oh, my goodness, way, way too far. Especially when you have the Native American community coming out saying, well, that's not racist. That in the Redskins football team, that's not racist. Atlanta Braves, that's not racist.
Personally, I think the cancel culture, canceling like Aunt Jemima and the little Indian on Land O'Lakes, that's racist because, we're going to cancel her because she's black. It's racist to have a black woman on an Aunt Jemima product. Even though it's her face, she created it, she owns it. It's racist to have her face on it. Same thing with the Indian. Who knows? Maybe they paid this little girl $100,000 for the back of her head for her tribe. Who knows?
It makes me want to start a pancake syrup and butter company, come up with something, and then and put a Native American on there, and And I'm going to find someone, an African American person, to help me create this syrup. And guess what? I'm going to put their face on it.
Yep.
And I ain't going to take it off.
And if cancel culture has a problem with it, guess what? Fuck
They can
you.
Kiss my Yes, for IDs to vote. Absolutely. What do you guys take? If somebody calls you a racist because they think that you're trying to keep them from voting. This is the opposite, man. You need IDs for a lot of things on this planet. Voting is should be on the top of the list of why you need an ID.
About 2.5.
And she says government, collect government assistance, food stamps or welfare, whatever you want to call it, the different programs there are. I believe you need a photo ID. I believe you do.
Yeah, you do. 2.5, 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago, before we came on air, Manny and I were talking about racism. And I mean, he knows I am far from a racist person. I do not have a racist bone in my body. But with all of this racism talk going on, you're racist, this is racist, that's racist. It's starting to make me racist against the people that's saying that it's racist.
Yeah.
If this makes any sense to you or not.
Yeah, I don't know if you call it racist, but I'm anti-idiot.
And maybe that's what it is. I'm just so sick of hearing that it's racist, or they think that it's racist. And who's to say just because you think it's racist, it is? I mean,
but it's not
unless you fucking boss.
They try to give you the argument that African Americans or Hispanics or any minority, one, they can't afford it. They can't afford to go get an ID, which is stupid. That's not true.
It's not. I mean, I know a lot of minority people personally that have more money than I do.
And they have programs for those who can't afford it for whatever the reason. You just got to find the right contact information, but they'll pay for it for you. There are programs for that. And some of them are even free. They'll give you a basic ID, just a regular ID. And two, they think that minorities can't register, don't know how to register to vote online.
That's because they just assume that they don't know the language and that they're here from either Mexico or Africa, and they don't know the English language. So they are assuming that they can't read or write or understand English.
Yeah, and I saw a video of a guy interviewing in Atlanta, asking, he was in Harlem, New York, the Harlem neighborhood, asking random African American, do you have ID? Do you have ID? Do you have a driver's license? Do you have an ID? Everybody said, yep. There was not a single no, except for the one guy who had tickets, so they took his license away. And he asked, do you know how to register to vote? Do you know how to find the DMV to go get one? And everybody said, yeah, of course. It's right over there. And it's right over there. But you have these activists. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that are telling you it's racist. They're not black, but they're telling you it's racist.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, well, they don't know how to use the internet, or they don't have a way to get on the internet. I fucking guarantee you every one of those motherfuckers have a smartphone. I guarantee it.
Even prostitutes are requiring IDs and cash up front. You have experience with that, Richard? Is that how that works?
I don't know too many prostitutes that actually ID you, but they do demand cash up front.
Oh, even they got IDs, I'm sure. Seriously, Log Cabin will have to change its logo since cabins are made with trees. What are you going to call it? What do you call it? Syrup. Pancake syrup.
I think somebody's got the market on that one already.
So seriously, man. Oh, man, it's so freaking frustrating. How do you... And for an entity like Major League Baseball to make that kind of move, it's ridiculous. The governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, he was supposed to go out, throw out the first pitch at Texas Ranger Stadium. And guess what? He said, I'm not doing it because I don't agree with this move of yours of the reason why you pulled out of Atlanta.
Good for him.
And you're moving to Colorado, and it was just something that just doesn't make sense at all.
And you know, it's probably it's not the team, it's not the managers, it's probably the fucking owner that has the issue with it.
It's ridiculous. You know how much money is lost. Everybody who is gonna earn money in Atlanta, we're talking hotels, restaurants. Can you imagine the Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, DoorDash, Grubhub? All these people who are going to capitalize and make money because there's a big event going on there. Oh, that's gone. He just killed from people making bank.
He don't care.
That whole weekend.
He wants it political.
It's like for real, man. It's Hi, Hilda.
Hi, Hilda.
Good early evening, yes. I know this is frustrating. We keep talking about certain things that I don't know. It may be over and over again. These are national issues that are important. But, you know, just realize that if you guys talk to anybody and you agree that you need an ID, you should require an ID to vote, that you might be labeled as a racist. Who was the original?
I don't see how that becomes 2 + 2 is 4. I don't understand it, but I guess once again, I have too much common sense, or I'm making it more difficult than it actually is. And these motherfuckers coming up with, oh, if you ask for an ID, you're racist, are fucking ignorant.
Who was the original instigator of racism? God. He created all the races to make one perfect world, and it backfired on him. Thanks, humanity. Well, I don't think so. I got my thoughts on that, too.
I got nothing on that because, once again, I'm not a very religious person. If I had to try to put common sense through it, okay, well, the black people came from Africa. Africa's all hot, so, you know, they're sitting over there cooking their skin in the heat. And over here in the States and London and everything, where, you know, it's not as hot, so we don't get near as cooked.
Yeah. That's another way of looking at it. Shauna says vendors are order early for huge events. Hope they're not out of pocket on supplies. Yeah, look at all that food they had to order. I mean, it's so far away in advance, they probably didn't. Hopefully, they didn't lose a lot of money. But the kind of money that brings to a community, to a neighborhood, to, like, again, all these businesses, hotels, restaurants, Uber, you know, Lyft drivers, DoorDash drivers, and all that. All these guys make money. That's a big weekend.
Well, if they ordered all that food, I hope they decide to cook it and give it away before it goes bad. You know, have one big, huge fucking downtown party or something. Everybody come eat for free.
I've always showed voter ID to vote, Betty Roble says. Ever since my first time voting during Bush and Gore in downtown, that's how they verify your district. It is. And they do see. You know what? Anytime I've ever voted in my life from day one, and before I went out the door, it was always, oh, do I got my IDs, my wallet, my IDs? I know I'm going to need my ID. It's just an assumption that I'm going to need my ID to vote. I did not know it was not a national law.
Well, she brought up a great point because I'd never even thought about it, but, you know, I can only go vote at one spot. Unless if I do early voting, then I have to go to an early voting poll. Mm-hmm. But I am designated one building to vote at. I cannot go to this one and vote and then drive 3 miles and vote over here. And that's what this whole, no ID is going to do. And, same day voting is going to do.
Yeah.
But the fucking Democrats, they don't, well, I'm not going to say the Democrats because not all of them are there. It's pretty much just Nancy and her little clan.
Yeah.
My best friend. She a hoe. It's pretty much them that, we have to have same day voting and 16-year-olds should vote. Yes, let's get a 16-year-old out there to vote. I mean, well, they're playing with fire and firecrackers and, hey, why don't you put on your pants? We'll stick a firecracker between your butt cheeks and light it. I mean, this is the mentality of a fucking 16-year-old.
Now, I'll tell you, there are some very mature and very responsible 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
I would. There's not a whole lot of them.
One in about a trillion.
But you have some that are actually responsible enough to know when to follow politics, to know where they stand, and that would be
There
okay
are
to
very
vote.
few.
But
I agree with you. There are very few.
generally speaking, they're at the age where they don't always make great decisions, and they make decisions on impulse, on emotion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think just like the legal age to drink is 18 or 21. I don't even know what the age is, 18 or 21.
It's 21, and then in some
For
states,
smoking, it's the same.
It's 18 for smoking.
18 for smoking.
Personally, I believe drinking should be 25 because a 21-year-old, I mean, you're still a new driver. I mean, you just got your license 5 years ago. You're still like, oh, check me out. I'm cool. I can zip around all day long and, burn rubber and shit. And,
And that's
now
true
I can
too.
drink on top of it.
And that's true too. You get these young people who just turned 21, boom, they go out and get smashed. They get drunk the first night. And from there on, they're drinking all the time. And it's now you got bad habits.
Yeah, I think at the age 25, you're a lot more mature, a lot more responsible. I think you can handle alcohol at 25, 21.
I mean, I agree, but
like 16-year-olds at voting. Very, very few people.
I agree, but now you're getting into a infringing on people's freedoms.
Well, that's exactly what the fucking Democrats do. They infringe on our freedoms.
Legal age. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I wouldn't want if somebody's 21, they're an adult, and they work hard, and they go to school, and they need a weekend to have a drink with her. I don't have a problem with it. I don't think 20. I think 25 is a bit too much. They always ask for my ID here. Yep, mine too. I always assume I'm gonna have to show it.
I'm right there with you, Betty.
People. Yes, Betty.
I do not deal with stupidity well at all. And like when a TV star that I really like, Todd Chrisley. If you ever watch him, Chrisley knows best. I mean, he's funny as shit, but he's always saying, "You can't fix stupid. Stupid's forever," and he's right. You can't fix stupid. I mean, ignorance you can fix. You can educate ignorance. Stupid, you can't do anything with.
Maybe I'm not getting it right, but all our lives have been show our ID for one thing or another, ever since high school, from junior high to today. El que nada debe, nada teme. Interesting. Explain it to Bam in English. Yeah, I'm not sure how to explain that. I'm not a good translator. Anyone, feel free to step up to the plate on that one.
Step up.
But yeah, we've had to show ID.
Step up.
Again, from the time I was able to get my freaking driving permit. And then you get your driver's license. First time ever.
Yeah, I always had it in my
pocket. You never left the house without it. You might need it for whatever you might need it.
I remember when I went and got my driver's permit, I had to prove who I was. Not only with my mom and my dad being there, but I had to have my birth certificate. I had to have like documentation to prove who I was. And
I even look at it as, what if there's an accident or you have a run-in with police for some reason and you got to show ID? I would love to show. Yep, here's my ID. It's right here. There's no issues there.
I like that idea, Betty.
To do your taxes, you need ID. No ID, no dollars. I don't know that you need your ID. I don't think I have to show my ID to do taxes. I don't know. I can't remember. Not a bad idea. Since you're, signing up for government money to get
if
your
taxes back. If you have your taxes done at like H&R Block or an accountant or something, they look at your ID, at least in this
Paul,
state.
Welcome. Better late than never, buddy. We're just frustrated talking about voter ID and why people don't like it.
On the cancel culture.
Richard says this Bam fellow's quite interesting. He should run for office. He'd kick ass at meetings and rallies. Yeah, he would.
Well, I'm kind of a lot like Trump. I'm not afraid to tell somebody to sit down and shut the fuck up. Never have.
Sometimes that's required, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
Rosie says nothing to fear if you don't have reason to. Agreed. That's why, I don't know, a lot of people are paranoid or don't like if China's listening on your conversation or China's looking at your phone or whatever. Say, out there, let them look. It turns them on or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, just like Big Brother, they can look at through the camera on your laptops, your computers, your cell phones.
Mhm.
If you got a smart TV, they can tune into any camera and look at you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And my opinion is, if you want to tune into me and watch me, be my guest, because you're going to have an awful boring fucking 4 hours or however long you're going to watch me.
You want to see my text messages and my emails and the surfing I do and this program or whatever? You want to go ahead. I don't care.
I mean, the most exciting thing they might catch me do is me scratching my ass as I walk from one end of the room to the other end of the room.
I know there's this thing on privacy, and I get it. I understand. Well, nobody should be able to sit in your living room or watch you from a camera or anything, and I get it. But I don't care. I'm like, I mean, if you're that paranoid about it, cover up the camera on your laptop, just like that. Got these little things you can buy, or a piece of paper.
A little piece of black electrical tape.
You can do some privacy settings on your phone to limit, what goes out. I get creeped out. Yes, I do. I'm looking at these shirts I saw the clothing store online on Facebook. So I click into it. Oh man, these are cool designs. I like that. But now I'm bombarded with 10,000 different shirt companies and shirt stores with similar items, and now those are all.
Don't you love how Facebook does that? And your phone, you could be talking to your husband or your sister or one of your daughters or whatever, and say, "Oh, well, I'm thinking of switching from Pampers to Huggies." Now, next thing, when you log into Facebook, you're going to see all kinds of fucking diaper ads.
Yeah, if you guys haven't tried that, try it, but don't look for something that you're not going to like annoying. Do something that interests you and do a search for it, or click on one of the ads on your Facebook. And you'll see your feed start to populate with similar like items.
Yeah, I was on
instantly.
I was on Carvana's website today looking at a Cadillac, and then I went to Facebook about 2 hours later. Next thing, here's Carvana, here's Zoom, here's this one, and it's like, seriously, give me a fucking break.
Yeah, David Smith, how you doing, buddy? The stupidest thing about the MLB moving the All-Star game over to ID is that the MLB requires the picture ID to get tickets at the Wilcox window. We just talked about that. Granted, in Colorado, it's not as strict as Georgia's going to be, but they still require it, and you got to do some paperwork if you don't have your ID. But they'll let you vote. They're just not as strict about it, and the quantity of people that vote by mail, it's amazing in Colorado. It's like it's over 95%. And everyone who registers gets automatically sent a mail-in ballot. Automatically. You don't have to request one. It gets mailed to you. Ban running for office wearing a Shia-Ho shirt. By the way, there's 15% off at mannysmerch.com. I put the link up there. 15% off for a few more days. So go get your Manny behind the mic, t-shirt, sweatshirt, hats, caps, mugs, babies, onesies. Or you can get some of the Bamisms of there, Shio-Ho, or it doesn't say ho, but it's got the garden implement there showing that, because I didn't want to get in trouble by who.
I still say we should put AOC's and Nancy's head on the end of the hoe.
So there's a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of different colors you can choose. So please check that out when you get a chance. Kind of like last night's city commissioners meeting. Name required, email required. I say knock yourself out. No shame in being informed. And ask. Yeah. There's some places, it used to be, I don't know about now, the Wi-Fi at the airport, you wanted to use their Wi-Fi.
You had to pay for it.
You have to put it. No, you don't have to pay for it, but you have to put in an email address and like register. Like, well, I just want to use a free Wi-Fi. So I started using a fake email address, and it would accept it. It wouldn't. I don't know.
My fake email address, none@none123.com.
So, okay, let's talk about verifying identity.
Well, let's go back to onesies for a hot second.
Onesies. Okay, Bam wants to talk about onesies.
I still say we should put "she's a hoe" on a onesie. Just think how cute that would be. Here you got mom walking around in a grocery with baby in that onesie, and everybody staring at the baby going, "Oh, damn, that baby says her mama a hoe." Just think how funny that would be.
It would be funny. Would any of you guys do that? Put that little tiny shirt on your baby's get that onesie for her or him or her, doesn't matter.
I think it'd be a big seller.
Paul's
if anything,
right.
it'd be a hell of a novelty gift.
That is funny. It would be good. And they are out there. They're available. Just go to mannysmerch.com. Paul says people don't hate voter ID. They hate having to come up with a more difficult way to cheat in elections. So
exactly.
You start requiring ID, now it's a little tougher for them to cheat. Yes.
Right there with you, Paul.
Man, absolutely. 150%. Those ads are based on your activity and on and outside on Facebook. It's in the terms and yeah, I know you sign up for that. I get it. That's why I'm not complaining necessarily. It is a little creepy that you're looking for something, shopping for something, and then poof, they just share all your info. People complain about privacy, but never care to read anything. Just click and agree. Yeah, because if you don't agree, they won't let you have a Facebook account. They won't let you log in. They won't let you do anything. You can't open up an account unless you agree to their terms and conditions. And it says there, we get the right to share your info and blah, 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 blah.
And how many people actually read this mile-long list of terms and conditions?
Yeah, nobody.
Exactly.
And if somebody does, if you're the one, I want to talk to you. If you actually read this whole thing from top to bottom.
I'm sure we got a few attorneys out there that have.
Yeah, these things could be as long as 50 pages long. Anybody ever read it? Just pick a paragraph in the middle and read it somewhere. That's a lawyer talk. No, Bam, that's some serious shade to Mom.
I think it's funny as hell, Rose.
Oh, so Rosie's saying the baby wearing it, they're talking about her mom. That she
Exactly.
See, I didn't think about that. I don't think like that.
Exactly. Baby just come into the world. Not baby's fault, but mama ho.
That's
she a ho.
That is real funny. I love it.
And it fits with a lot of mothers out there. I'm not saying anybody here.
Hilda's not having it.
You know the ones. Y'all up in Walmart, and here you have this hoe walking around with 37 kids. You know she a hoe.
Oh, man. We're going to show you a little video here on something else.
I like videos.
David, so if it is racist to show an ID to vote, is Delta racist to require an ID to board their flights?
And American and United and the cheapo ones. Can't think of them.
Frontier, Allegiant.
Thank you.
Spirit.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a different story, right? Because now you're talking about
it's federally required.
Yeah, because you don't want freaking terrorists.
Oh, but wait, it should be federally required to see an ID to vote.
I agree. Voter ID, okay with me. That's my thing.
Me too.
Voter ID, okay with me. And if you don't like it, well, you don't like it. But don't call me a freaking racist. Mama married a 501k sucker. Is that the title of your new song, Richard? Okay, so Press Secretary Jennifer, whatever her name is, Jen Psaki.
The circle back bitch.
The circle back wench. She was asked a question. She got snippy with a reporter. Here, I'll read it here at the top, and then I'll play the video. Who got snippy with a reporter Wednesday who questioned why Vice President Kamala Harris had time to visit a Chicago bakery amid the lingering border crisis instead of going to Texas, California, Arizona to see what's going on at the border. The exchange between Psaki and New York Post reporter Stephen Nelson came during a press briefing at the White House. Now, remember, President Biden designated Kamala Harris as something border liaison or something like that, where she's supposed to be
in charge of that shit.
In charge or a liaison with issues at the border. Now, first thing everybody figured was, all right, I mean, she's going to go over there and check out, see how things are.
Mm-hmm.
Has she been there yet? It's been almost a month she's been designated. Nelson noted that although Harris had been put up in charge of dealing with the border crisis, she has only spoken with the Guatemalan president, and has yet to visit the border or even Central America. He then mentioned how the vice president traveled to Chicago this week and took time to visit a bakery.
Oh, and her best friend Beetlejuice.
Priorities. They said, is she still working on this? Can you address the perception that she's kind of quietly backing off while Secretary Mayorkas is pursuing some Trump-era policies? So let's watch this video. You want to watch a video?
Sure.
Here we go. Here we go.
In the border.
Okay.
I'll ask you two rather quick follow-up questions about some other topics.
You always like yes or no questions. I don't know if they're yes or no. Go ahead.
Answer as you will. But,
okay.
So on immigration and the border, as we discussed here today, Vice President Harris has been put in charge of addressing the root causes of the border crisis. Last Tuesday, she spoke with Guatemala's president, but she hasn't visited the border or Central America or spoken to the leaders of El Salvador or Honduras. She was traveling this week, took time to visit a bakery in Chicago. I'm wondering, is she still working on this? And can you address the perception that she's kind of quietly backing off while Secretary Mayorkas is pursuing some Trump-era policies, such as potentially building new border barriers and potentially prosecuting people who illegally cross multiple times?
There was a whole lot packed in there. So let me just see what I can do here.
Let's
First,
see.
I would say the vice president was visiting Chicago actually to talk about COVID and the importance of communities getting the vaccine when it's available and accessible to them. And so while she was there, like many Americans, she got a snack. I think she's allowed to do that. But she was there to talk about COVID and play a role, as she's playing a significant role on our efforts to address vaccine hesitancy, communicate with the public about how we can do this, and it's imperative to get the vaccine when it's available. Second, I would say that yesterday, and this is actually a statement put out by her team, USAID announced the deployment of a DART team. We only have these in a couple of places in the world, so this is fairly significant, to respond to urgent humanitarian needs in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. This is meant to help address the immediate humanitarian
How about
needs,
Mexico?
Whether it's drought, food insecurity, ongoing COVID-19 pandemic.
Mexico's fine.
And this is in communities that are still recovering. So that is actually an announcement made by the vice president's team earlier today.
Again, only about COVID.
Absolutely an issue that she remains committed to, is in the lead on. The Northern Triangle, which I'm sure you're aware of, but is not the same as the border. They're all related to each other, but addressing the being responsible in the lead on the Northern Triangle is working with these countries in the region, addressing the root causes, working with them on how we can address issues like long-term food insecurity, drought, the COVID-19 pandemic, hurricanes, etc.
Not the immigration crisis.
I don't have an update on when she'll travel. I'm sure it will be soon.
She's still working on this issue very much.
Well, they wouldn't be putting out a statement this morning if she wasn't, would they?
It didn't address immigration, though.
I'd like to
She didn't address shit.
I'd like to circle back, he said, too.
Hey, to shove it in her ass.
I heard a lot of circling around, not circling back.
Well, that's what this, administration is all about.
I agree 100%, Manny.
Ring around the rosy.
As well.
That's what it's all about. Ring around the rosy.
But she didn't address the Mexico, the border crisis. She didn't even refer to it as a crisis. It kind of just ignored it.
Because there's no crisis.
Everything turned into COVID or health or, that.
They don't see a crisis. They don't see but 2 inches in front of their face. And if it's not like in that 2 inches, they don't see it.
Yeah, it's really, really ridiculous. And I showed somebody the video. Remember the video of the Border Patrol agent who was just driving along the border, and he came across this little boy walking by himself. The little kid was crying.
Oh yeah, the 3-year-old.
No, he was older than that. I don't know, 6 or 8 maybe. I don't know. I'm not good with ages like that. He was a little older, but he was crying that they left him. He walked away from the group because he didn't want to be kidnapped, or he was just afraid and crying. And he's just walking by himself, freaking almost in the desert. Well,
I mean, it's good that he has common sense like that to know that could actually happen to him.
Yeah, but he's freaking by
and
himself.
would happen
walking.
to him.
And I showed it to somebody today, and that a guy. I mean, to my surprise, he got all teary-eyed. I'm like, and so did I. Started getting. I know the little kids crying. No parents, nothing. The Border Patrol agent asked him, "Where are your parents? Is your mom and dad here with you?" And he said, "No." He just came with a group. That's all he kept saying. They came with a group, and
I
it's
think it's kind of
heartbreaking.
stupid to send your child with a bunch of just walk with this group. Do what they do. Follow them. You'll be fine. I mean, you'd like to grab the parent and knock the ever living fucking shit out of them.
It's heartbreaking, and whether there's criminal activity going on, these gangs and the cartels over there in Mexico forcing people to do this. Again, possibly causing a distraction. They're trying to pass drugs over also while all this is going on. So the more people they can send, let's send 5,000 people, on a given day to cross and create a ruckus over here, and then over here we'll pass the drugs along. We'll get some drugs in.
Yeah, I just wonder how many Democrats are in line with the drug lords and letting the drugs in and getting the kickbacks. I'm sure it's happening.
I'm sure that does happen somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I hate to think that our good Border Patrol and Homeland Security people are not corrupt and not corruptible. And they're not. I'm not saying they are. There are some bad apples everywhere.
Well, and there's that old phrase out there, everybody's got a price. Hey, Laura.
Welcome. Yeah.
Good looking. Well, I think you need to go have your eyes checked. This is not good looking.
And and there is corruption, and you wonder how some of these drugs do get in, how they make it in. But, they come in at so many angles, by land, by sea, by air, by rail. You name it, they're trying multiple times, and they can't catch everything.
Yep,
they can't stop everything.
They come in over the wall. They come in under the wall. They come in through the wall.
What has been effective is that new wall that President Trump was putting up. It's a whole different ball game, a different kind of wall.
Say it isn't so. Do walls and fences actually work?
Guess what? They work.
No.
If they didn't work, prisons wouldn't have walls.
Well, like, I don't even know who said it, but I'm going to use it again. And I think I've said it once before. You can ask your neighbor to stay out of your or off your property once or twice. The third time, it's starting to get a little much. The fourth time, evidently we need a fucking fence. Canada and the United States, we're good. We respect each other's borders. Yeah, the only reason we respect is because we don't want to go up there and live where there's snow in fucking July. Okay, we're smart. We don't want to go the fuck up there and freeze our nuts off.
Yep. It was so cold in Sioux Falls once. I lost my nuts there. They froze and they fell off. I found them in the springtime.
Mm-hmm. Just like that little nut guy in that stupid movie rolling that fucking peanut around.
It was really cold. It was freaking cold. It's Yeah. So on that topic, that's what we're again. We circled a little bit to this.
Yeah, fences work, my friends.
Kamala Harris not doing her job, and they don't like being called out on it.
Oh, they don't, because it's like, oh my God, we're pointing out something that they did wrong, and they don't like that. And she had to meet with Beetlejuice and sit there. I'm sure Beetlejuice and her became fast friends, went to lunch, and she's like, oh, you got to check out this bakery. They have phenomenal whatever. So of course, Kamala had to go do that.
For those of you who don't know who Beetlejuice is, we're talking about the mayor of Chicago.
Oh my God, she looks just like fucking Beetlejuice.
Her name is Lori
Lightfoot. The bulging eyes. I was really excited for her when she was elected. I'm like, finally, somebody that's not from the old corrupt Chicago. And it's like, we might have a decent mayor. Yeah, much to my surprise, slap my ass and call me Sally.
And I know she's liberal. She's very liberal. But even I had hope that she would be doing something good over there.
She ain't doing a fucking thing.
Dude, woman is clueless.
And then her wife is like Lurch from the Addams Family.
It's sad. It's so here. I want to put this story up here now because it was breaking today.
Oh,
more at the border.
not another crisis.
Well, now Texas Governor Mr. Abbott blames Biden as allegations now are flinging around about women getting sexually assaulted, kids getting sexually assaulted.
Well, we
at
know
these
that.
migrant facilities.
Biden's a pedophile. We knew that was going to happen. I mean, if Biden could get away with it, he'd be down there sniffing the kids.
Well, we're not saying Biden did it, but Texas demanded that the White House close a San Antonio housing facility housing migrant children Wednesday following allegations that children were being sexually assaulted. Oh, man, this gets worse and worse. During a Wednesday evening press conference, Abbott said he received tips that allege that the children at the Freeman Coliseum facility were being sexually abused and were not eating enough. These problems are a byproduct of President Biden's open border policies and the lack of planning for the fallout. Yes, 150,000%.
I agree.
You guys read this? These problems are a byproduct of President Biden's open border policies and the lack of planning for the fallout of those disastrous policies.
Well, you know, when you put like, I don't know, 500 people in a little cage that's only supposed to hold like 50 people, of course shit's going to happen.
I mean, you know, these stories were going to come out eventually, but you know, they got so many people packed in rooms together.
I just want to know. I want to know where the outrage is.
It's a crisis. We're being overloaded. We're being freaking overloaded.
I want to know where the outrage is because right now, if Trump was president, there'd be a huge outrage. There'd be people down there, you know, protesting, you know, holding flags, holding guns, doing whatever. But where's the outrage? There is no outrage.
Yeah.
Why?
There's a lot of things to be outraged at. I mean, the shootings in Chicago that happened weekend in and weekend out.
Oh, I know. Every weekend in Chicago, minimum 100 people get killed or shot.
And that's like the most gun-controlled city on the planet.
Yeah, you're not even allowed to have a gun in the city.
You're not allowed to have it in city limits, period. That's been like that for years. Yet they got the worst freaking crime going on. So tell me gun control is the way to do things. Hilda says, walls only deter. Sorry, Manny, first time I disagree. Have the wall about 100 feet from your house. I'm not saying it's a foolproof 100% deterrent, but it is a deterrent. When somebody sees a higher wall or a more complicated situation, they're going to think twice and go, hey, you know what? I don't think we can do this. Let's go somewhere else. And they're going to travel elsewhere or try a different way. It's going to deter.
Yeah, they're going to get
it is going to deter.
The acetylene welder out and start cutting holes in the fence.
Well, they can't. Yeah, they can't cut these things. They're freaking thick steel. You can't. It's not a fence per se. It's a tall. Yeah, and I know some of the existing fence. I'll call it a fence, not a wall. It is easy to get over. You know, these guys are not afraid doing some climbing and then some ascending and descending. So this newer system that they're putting up is a lot taller. It's a lot higher. It's not so friendly to come across. My hubby's annoyed at Bam. He had never heard the show before. He's annoyed. Bam, you're annoying somebody.
I'm sorry. No, well, maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. I don't know. I haven't had any sleep last night, so I don't know how I feel about that.
Border crisis is bull crap. Hell, they've been crossing for years. I know it is, except now they're coming in. You know, these caravans that are coming over, and now there are large numbers. They keep showing the video of 200 people in that line, waiting at the river to get on the raft and cross over. You saw that a couple of weeks ago. It's like
Biden
all
pretty
of a
much
sudden
says,
now people are taking.
Biden pretty much said, I'm sorry, your country fucking sucks. Come to ours. We'll take care of you. We'll give you food. We'll give you shelter. We'll give you money. We'll take care of you. Come. We'll take care of you. We'll make it okay. Sorry, your country sucks. Yeah. Come to ours.
And the catch and release is in full effect right now. It is in full effect. How you doing, Ben? Go Bears. Catch and release is in full effect. Now we're back to that mess now. And you know what? And part of it is these people from the other countries, South America and everywhere else, they're being lied to, They're being lied to. That, yeah, they can come up here and they'll let you in, and, well, to a certain extent, that they'll let you in if you get caught. Except if you're from Mexico, they'll send you back. If you're from all the other countries, they'll let you in and release you.
Yep. And then we'll sign you up for stimulus checks. We'll give you a food stamp card. We'll give you a hotel.
And in New York, they just signed, or they're about to sign, Governor Cuomo, money to give to migrants. I was going to look that story up. Money to give to migrants.
Here we go. Take care of the whole entire world and give every penny we have and don't have to the whole entire world, and Americans last, and fuck Americans. We got to take care of the whole world except us. I mean, why don't we just pack up all our homeless vets, ship them across fucking Mexico, smuggle them back in so they can at least get a shower and some food? Maybe a stimulus check.
Yeah, it's a mess. It is a crisis. And yeah, Ben is right. It's been going on. For us, it's not really a crisis because it's been going on forever. The problem is now the numbers are higher now. That's the problem. Now you got big crowds moving, big crowds coming in.
Yeah, they say by the end of the year, like upwards of just a touch over 1 million. Just what we need.
Yep. I look at it this way. If people don't like it, go find another country to live in.
I'm right there with you, Ben. Let's pack it up and move. But I'll guarantee you, we're not going to find another country that'll kiss our ass like we're kissing migrants' asses.
No other country at all whatsoever does what the United States of America does.
I mean, if you want to go to Canada, you have to prove to them that you have some sort of skill that can help that country better itself, and that you're not going to be a burden to their government. They require that when you sign up for citizenship in Canada.
You have to show that what you've got something to offer.
Yeah.
What if you got to offer that's going to benefit our country? Why should we let you in?
Or at least you're able to support yourself, so we don't have to support your ass.
And I get it. If you're escaping a communist country or a socialist country and things are bad, totally understand. You want to get out of there and come somewhere better. I get it. The system's got to be fixed.
Well,
yes, you are welcome. Yes, we want to fix the system to make it fair. But we can't just open it. Yep, let everybody in. We can't. It can't.
Well,
a country without a border is not a freaking country.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just look at how many possible fucking terrorists are going to be coming through. How many possible terrorists are making their way through that border right now?
Well said, Bam, about the vets. Hi, Cole. How are you, hon?
Thanks, Cole.
Bed Rubble. Can I claim myself as a migrant?
Seriously, buddy.
You probably could.
I mean, fuck, I'd like to claim myself as a migrant, an undocumented person, just so I can get free housing and free food and a monthly check.
I know. I wonder if I can get my stimulus, actually, if I do that and say that I'm a migrant escaping
Ben says
Venezuela
it's a racist
or
thing.
something. That's not a racist thing. Come on, Ben. Come on, man. Bam. Get them some hoes.
They have enough hoes.
You won't believe the amount of people that run through our yard, men, boys, women, and Border Patrol running behind them, and dogs, and all morning, evening, 4, 5, 6 a.m. every other day. Man, that must suck.
Do you have signs that say no trespassing? If you do,
You think people respect that? People
you
can't
got
even
live
read.
target practice going on.
They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna shoot nobody and kill. You don't want them dead. You just
No, you
like I
don't
said.
shoot them
That's
with
why.
like you don't shoot them with like a 20, with like a 357 or a 9 or anything like. Break out your damn pellet gun.
No, not gonna do that. Not gonna shoot anybody.
Break out your pellet gun. You know, it'll give them a little zip in the ass. Might break a little skin.
And then if you want to, protect your home and your property, it costs a friggin' ton of money to do. Some people have a lot of land, and you just can't put a fence.
Well, there's always an electric fence.
Man, that's horrible. I get you, Hilda. Recently looked up the criteria to immigrate to Ireland. You got to come up with a plan. 50 grand, a place to live, etc. Some way to prove you are self-sufficient and will not suck off the system. A lot of countries are like that.
Yeah, not us. Oh, come on over. We'll take care of you.
Yep. That's why we're in such massive debt. Hospitals overloaded. School systems overloaded.
Yeah, Democrats, they'd love to write checks and don't have any money to back it up. But boy, they'd love to give you all that fucking money and no gold to back it up.
Hilda, no, we don't do that. That's not nice. We just look through the window and lock your doors and stuff, right? And everything's got to be locked. You can't be. It's not safe just to unlock your door. Not saying they're out to kill you or rob you or whatever, but
I mean that would truly.
Some of them that come through are not good people. Some of them that come through are not good people.
I mean that would suck, especially on like a nice evening. You can't have your windows open. I love sleeping with my windows open.
Yeah, but even at my house, I have 2 storage sheds out back. I got to put locks on them. The thought of, and there's Border Patrol flying around a lot of times, going over the neighborhood, and they're looking for somebody, and the thought of somebody hiding out there and breaking into the house eventually because they're hungry or whatever. I mean, I feel for them. I really do. But we need to fix the system bad. Foster parents in the state of California have as many as 26 immigrant children living in their homes. I've heard that. Marisa, where you been? Hi,
Marissa. My friend Kathy, she signed up to be a foster parent. She already adopted one little boy from Russia. Kid's 12 or 13 now. And when they got him, he was like just a touch over a year. But they want a foster child. And I told her, I said, well, start learning Spanish because I guarantee you're going to be getting a phone call from one of these kids from the borders. The government's going to call you and say, well, we got these children. You want them? And she goes, funny you should say that because I was just thinking that the other day. I said, well, there you go. It's going to happen.
Marisa's trying to tell us that she didn't know we were live. Right.
How do you not know we're not alive? I mean, please.
Ben says, Manny, I grew up in Aurora, Illinois.
That's not far from me.
Isn't that where Wayne's World was set? Where they were supposed to be from? Aurora,
I think
Illinois?
so. I think so.
Let me tell you, it was all racist. That's why I moved here 30 years ago. Well, I know places are racist like that. There are some places, yes, I'm not going to deny that. Democrat said to help the rep, hey, left nut, yes, right nut. Who's the P? In the middle, Trump.
Who's the P in the middle?
But I get it. And there are places that are like that. And yes, there are still places that are not friendly to a brown face or a person of color.
Well, I mean, Aurora,
not just blacks, Hispanics too. They are racist against Hispanics.
I mean, it's Aurora. It's not like it's Naperville where it's all yuppies and rich motherfuckers. But I mean, Aurora does have I would guess, a medium household income of like maybe 300,000. Not really? Like Naperville of like 900. $900,000 per household in Naperville, yeah.
Yeah, so it's there are places like that. There are people who are racist still, unfortunately.
I don't know if it's racist or if it's more Karens. I think it's more Karens.
Yeah. Either way, Karens are idiots.
Well,
Karen,
that's
if your
not
name is
where-
Karen, I'm not
I-
calling you an idiot. I'm calling Karens idiots.
And I don't even know why they're called Karens. I mean, seriously, you could have picked like a Nancy. I mean, why Karen?
Could have said Nancy. She's a Nancy. Yes, we can't even leave the shed open because they can hide there and we get charged for aiding immigrants.
Oh yes, yeah,
That's
definitely
messed up right there.
break out the pellet gun and use a little bit of target practice.
See, that's messed up. If you have your shed innocently unlocked and they find them hiding in there, I can't believe they would charge you with aiding and abetting or whatever they want to call it. That's freaking
But
wrong.
how can they charge you aiding and abetting when we have open borders, they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Now all of a sudden you're in trouble for them sleeping in your shed when you didn't even know the motherfucker was there.
Yep. I thought you were doing a 10:30 show. Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
All this
Sent
week
the
we're
alert.
like sevens.
Don't you get the alert? You're supposed to get the alert. Follow the page, please.
I like your mom, Betty.
Mom sleeps with a Smith & Wesson. She also has a barbed wire razor fence to be safe. A few years ago, they knocked her fence down and Border Patrol helicopters in the middle of the night. Damn, that sucks.
Did they at least pay to replace the fence?
I hope they paid to fix stuff. I don't know how that works. Do they reimburse for repairs, or there's got to be a way to apply for that compensate for damage done while they're doing an investigation or chasing somebody or whatever.
Well, if it's a few years ago, that could have been when they were actually changing from they're now ICE. I can't remember what they were called years ago.
They were called oh God.
But if it was that time frame when they were switching from the old people to the ICE people, it probably got lost.
Oh my goodness. What were they called before?
God, I can't even remember.
What were they called? I'll think of it in a bit.
Yeah, it'll come to me. It'll probably come to one of you before it comes to me because I'm old.
But yeah, so quick reminder, everyone, please give my page a like, share the feed, share the videos, share the page if you like what you see. Always open to debate with anyone, even if you don't agree. We can talk about it and agree to disagree. I'm not crazy. You guys know that.
Or we can always sit in a dishwasher and go, bow, chicka, wow, wow, chicka,
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Give my page a like. Go to YouTube, youtube.com/Manny behind the mic. Give us a subscribe, please. And check out Manny's merch. Get some t-shirts, cool stuff.
Onesies.
Even for the
onesies
kids.
Are really cool. You got to check out the onesies.
Onesies for the kids. We got some
Pajamas.
BAM-isms up there.
Got pajamas. Got aprons. Got mugs.
All
Got
kind of
travel
stuff.
mugs.
Yep, a lot of cool stuff there. Good looking stuff, especially on the black. When you get the logo on black shirt or the black mugs and stuff like that, I think it looks
Got
pretty
tote
good.
bags, duffel bags. I don't know if we have grocery bags. Do we have grocery bags?
There's tote bags. That's the closest thing. And so
Hats.
yes, and also if you'd rather help out with cash, the Cash App is right there running along the bottom. So I do appreciate all your support.
$sign Manny behind the mic.
Manny, when I go visit Aurora, Chicago to see family, I go back to my hometown. I've never seen so many people working with fake Social Security. Yeah, and we know all about that from in Texas.
Oh, we do. Well, and I used to be in the fast food industry management for years, and in Wisconsin, Madison actually. I had all kinds of Hispanic people. I loved them because they worked their ass off. They were there every day, and then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 of them are gone, and I'm like, well, what happened to so and so? And they're like, well, immigration got them. I'm like, oh well. Hell, that sucks. And then the other one said, oh, don't worry. He'll be back in 3 days under new name and new social security number. And I'm like, what? He goes, oh,
Wow.
Trust me. Trust me. Yeah, he got deported. And 3 days later, he was back new name, new social security number, but it was same guy.
And I know that people like say, "Oh, they don't get fake IDs." Nobody's. Oh, come down to Texas. You want a fake ID? All you need is a little bit of cash, and you got a fake ID, social security number. Yes. No, they do not reimburse for fence repairs.
That sucks.
That's wrong. That's freaking wrong. I would
That
sue
is
the
wrong.
government.
Now you had to turn that into your homeowner's insurance and take a hit on that.
Before we had our house bricked, there was a load of people under the house, at least 12 or maybe more. Because Border Patrol came, helicopter, the big black one landed across the fence. They did, and boy, did they make a big stink because they thought we put them there. Oh, they thought we were hiding the people. Oh, man. Come on, guys.
There you go. Once again in this country, guilty until proven innocent.
Right? Border Patrol peeps. Anybody on there? You guys know anybody with Border Patrol? I'm gonna inquire. I want to talk to somebody, even if it's anonymously, because I know they can't speak up publicly, right? But I'd like to ask a lot of questions because this is wrong. There should be some kind of avenue where you can recover for damage done by them in any capacity. Local police. They got to smash a fence to get through or whatever. The government never pays you back for their bads. Yeah. So that's where our Social Security cards end up. Chicago, right? Yep, I get it. Bam, you got anything else for us?
I can't think of anything other than what I normally close with.
Any movies? Anything to watch interesting over the weekend that you watched?
Well,
what's everybody doing tonight on a Wednesday night?
Well, I watched La Bamba today.
Oh, Richie Valens.
Yes. And I started watching.
So that story is
5.
So that story is true that he flipped a coin with I forget the name of the guy, the other singer from the
Bopper.
Yes. Flipped a coin. And Richie Valens wanted to go home. He goes out, toss you heads or tails. And that sealed his fate. That's because of that. Otherwise, Richie Valens would have still been alive. And the Big Bopper would have been the one who passed. Yeah, I saw that when I went to Iowa. I went to the crash site, the Buddy Holly crash site. I talked about this before a little bit. And they played at this hall called the Surf Ballroom. So freaking cool over there. I mean, you walk in and you're walking into a time warp. And just photographs.
Changed today.
Oh, the floor is still like a old school basketball gymnasium floor.
Oh, real oak wood. Oh,
and
God,
it's got
already.
And it's made in a pattern. And they say it looks funny, but it's done in a way so that when you're dancing, you know the flow and where you're supposed to go. There's different shades of the wood, different patterns. It's really interesting. And all the bands that have played there, famous people, anyone you can imagine, a lot of people have visited there, and some have played. Photographs everywhere, guitars hanging everywhere. There's the music playing in the background. Okay, so there was music playing in the background. As you walk in, it's just part of it's the auditorium, right? So I put a video up, and Facebook blocked the video because of music, a copyright thing of the music that was playing in the background. So I wasn't even featuring the movie. I was just videotaping the whole auditorium, and then I hate Facebook. I really hate Facebook. I really do.
Facebook is, I read an article the other day. Mark Zuckerberg, he has, in this article, he said that he has begged everybody to stop logging into Facebook. He's like, quit coming to Facebook. The CEO of Facebook is telling everybody to stop using Facebook.
Why?
I have no idea. The article made absolutely no fucking sense to me.
Gotta look it up. Able to just listen to us, doing nothing interesting, sleeping early like always. You get to sleep. That's cool. Love La Bamba. Great movie.
It is a good movie.
Marisa is shopping.
Good.
That chick shops 6 days a week. She shops.
Good for you, Marissa.
You're always out shopping. That's what I always keep hearing. So yeah, I don't know. We're gonna watch something. I've been watching The Sopranos. Remember The Sopranos?
Yep.
Great series. The Sopranos. And I'll probably hit up Boardwalk Empire after that. I love Boardwalk Empire. Great stuff there.
I don't believe I've ever seen it.
With Steve Buscemi as Nucky Thompson, the mayor of Atlantic City back during Prohibition.
Mm.
It's not 100% factually correct, but it's based on true stories. It's really interesting. It's really good.
18th Amendment.
Hi, Cynthia. She says you can appeal. It tells me you're at a public place. I did that and it worked. Really? Cindy, you see that? Hilda, I'm sorry, it was Hilda, right? You can appeal. It tells me you were at a public place. I did that and it worked. Joe's making a French pastry, Kremolski, or also known as Napoleon's cake.
I love a good Napoleon. Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
It's a bunch of little light flaky pastry, and then you have like a it depends. I've always had raspberry Napoleons. A raspberry Napoleon, and then whipped cream, and then more light flaky pastry, and then more whipped cream, and then it's got like a chocolate design of on top of the whipped cream, and oh my God, they're so good.
Damn, Joe, you gotta take pictures, bro, and then you gotta send some over.
But the last Napoleons I had made, I had them do strawberry instead of raspberry, and the strawberry ones were so flipping good.
I don't know. I can't eat that kind of sweet stuff so late in the day. If I'm going to eat sweets like that, I got to do it early.
Oh, I can. You know, the other day
No.
I wanted.
I know you can, but you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I wanted apple pie and ice cream, so I took out some apple pie out of a can. I heated it up. I seasoned up the apples, threw them in a dish, put ice cream on top of it. Then I put some pecans on top of that ice cream and a little bit of chocolate. Oh my God, I was in heaven. So was my waistline. It's like, hey, we're getting bigger down here. You better quit eating.
Now, yeah, Joe Rodriguez. Oh my God, my weakness: gourmet pastries. I've always wanted to taste a crepe, a layered cake, a crepe cake.
I love. My favorite pancake is a Swedish pancake, which is kind of like a crepe. But oh my God, they're so good, especially when they're wrapped up in strawberries and whipped cream and maple syrup and strawberry syrup. And like,
all right, I got to order food. I'm hungry. I got limited time. I haven't had dinner yet.
Well,
everyone, thanks for hanging out tonight. Oh, let's see. Yeah, thanks for hanging out tonight. Support the page. Thank you very much, everyone.
One
Have
planet,
a great night.
one people.
Today's just another day.
Luego.
I love strawberry ice cream with fries.
Ooh, I bet that's good.
Fries?
Oh, strawberries. It's kind of like ranch dressing. Goes with everything.
Strawberry ice cream with French fries.
Yeah, why not? It's like you take French fries, dip it in vanilla ice cream and chocolate ice cream, whatever. It's one of those things that us Northerners do. You go to Wendy's and you get a Frosty and dip your fries in it. Same concept.
I've never dipped my fries in a Frosty.
It's like a sweet and salty situation going on.
Interesting. Good night, Hungry Hippo.
Good night,
Melissa,
Hippo.
She says, yep, Melissa. She dips. She dips.
I dip, you dip, we all dip.
Potatoes and ice cream.
It's a thing. Kind of like hot fudge and a Big Mac. It's a thing.
See, I like doing French fries with mustard. See, Ben just put it up there. French fries and mustard is actually good. I couldn't believe it.
That's
in Europe they do French fries with mayonnaise.
Yeah, they don't use ketchup.
Use mayonnaise. You like mayonnaise that much?
I mix my ketchup and my mayo together, and I'll dip my fries in that. And I dip it in ranch dressing. I dip fries in pretty much anything but cheese. I just
Hilda, good night.
Night,
French
Hilda.
Fries and mustard. There you go. French fries and mustard.
Ew.
That's good stuff. That is really good. Bam knows what I'm talking about, Melissa says.
I do. Great minds think alike, Melissa.
Yes, fries. Another one. Fries with ice cream. God, man.
You got to try it. It's a thing. It is a really good thing.
But like your fries are hot and the ice cream is freezing. It's cold. Doesn't it just melt? The heat from
No,
the fries melts
it doesn't turn into a melty mess.
Betty Rubble, good night until we meet again.
Good night, Betty.
Tomorrow, 7. I'm going to call it 7:15 tomorrow.
Hopefully, I'll be more well rested tomorrow.
If I get a chance to come on earlier, we will just hook up earlier. Otherwise, we'll call it 7:15.
Manny caught me catnapping tonight. I was in the green room, so to speak, and I was sleeping. I was kind of like,
as soon as I assigned him, he was like, hello. Yes, just do it. All right, I'll try it. I don't know when I'll try it, but I'll try it. So I can imagine the French fries. What do you call those with the edges, the ripples or whatever?
Waffle fries?
Nope. Oh my goodness, I can't think of it. Not the smooth fries, but the ones that have
Crinkles.
So I bet those are good for ice cream because they actually can
All
hold
fries
ice cream.
work well with it.
But imagine all the little crevices of the crinkles will be good to hide to hold ice cream.
All fries
regular
work
fries,
well.
not crinkles.
All
She
fries
says
work
regular.
well with it.
It's like butter.
It is like butter because all you're doing is a little thin coating on the fry.
So is there like a normal, like a vanilla ice cream you use, or does it matter?
I've
Just
done
whatever you
fries
like
and
or what?
everything. I've done fries and hot fudge sundaes. I've done Big Macs with hot fudge sundaes. I've put hot fudge on Big Macs.
Rosie says it's like butter. Malia says actually the thinner fries are best with ice cream.
Yeah,
Thinner
McDonald's
fries.
fries work really well with it.
But all right, I guess I don't understand the whole ice cream French fry thing.
You're gonna have to try it. You'll like it.
Maybe I'll try it tonight. I got to get dinner going here because I got to leave to work pretty soon.
You'll like it.
Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Love all you guys. We will be back tomorrow night. Bam, take it away.
One planet, one people.
And you can get a One Planet, One People shirt at Manny's Merch.
Manny'smerch.com.
It says, Bam says, One Planet, One People. You can get that.
Shio.
Go get it. Have a good night, everyone.
Hasta luego.